The eligibility requirements for aid and attendance are similar to Medicaid, but not exactly the same. It's important that if you are going to go down the road of potentially receiving or applying for aid and attendance, as well as Medicaid, that you consult with somebody who is an expert on both of those areas. In order to be eligible for aid and attendance, there are 4 requirements. Typically, the biggest hurdle is going to be having the wartime service. I've included the website on this video where you can actually go to see those wartime service periods. The veteran will need to have served at least 1 day of a wartime period with 90 consecutive days of service either before or after that day of wartime service. Additionally, they need to be discharged something other than dishonorably. If we meet the wartime service requirement, the next thing we need to look at is medical need. The veteran or surviving spouse needs assistance with at least 2 activities of daily living. These would include walking, bathing, toileting, eating, medication management, and several others. Keep in mind that the veteran or the surviving spouse does not need to be completely unable to do these functions. Instead, they just need assistance. The wartime veteran or surviving spouse could also meet the medical standard if they need protection due to a cognitive impairment. For example, if your loved one has dementia and is a flight risk from their home, and in order to keep them safe, we need to get them into assisted living community. That would also qualify for that medical requirement with aid and attendance. Similar to Medicaid, aid and attendance also has an income requirement. In order to get the maximum monthly benefit for aid and attendance, the wartime veteran or surviving spouse needs to be using all of their income on unreimbursed medical expenses. Typically, if someone's in assisted living, those would be considered medical expenses, and so now they would qualify for those additional funds. If someone is still at home and they're receiving care in the home, then that care would also be considered medical expenses and would qualify for that aid and attendance. Finally, aid and attendance does have an asset eligibility requirement similar to Medicaid. If a wartime veteran or a surviving spouse has a house, a car, and approximately $150,000 in other assets, they would be eligible for aid and attendance.